Welcome to part 2 of our exploration of why God allows pain and suffering. In this segment, we delve into the concept of soul-making and character development, a perspective that offers a meaningful framework for understanding suffering in our lives. The question of suffering is intricately tied to the problem of evil, a theological and philosophical challenge that questions how a loving, omnipotent God can coexist with the reality of suffering. This issue resonates deeply with both believers and skeptics, often intensifying during times of personal hardship, loss, or illness. One compelling answer comes from the soul-making theodicy, rooted in the thought of Irenaeus, an early church father. Irenaeus emphasized that humans are not created perfect, but are intended to mature and develop through the challenges of life. This perspective argues that certain virtues such as patience, empathy, perseverance, and courage can only be cultivated through adversity. The Bible reinforces this concept beautifully. In Romans chapter 5 verses 3-5 we read that suffering produces perseverance, perseverance, character, and character, hope. Similarly, James chapter 1 verses 2-4 encourages believers to count it all joy when facing trials, for these experiences refine faith and strengthen endurance. Without trials, virtues like resilience and compassion would remain dormant and undeveloped. This view portrays life as a journey of transformation. Just as muscles grow stronger through resistance, our character develops through challenges that test and stretch our moral capacities. Suffering serves as a tool that shapes us, pushing us toward growth and refinement in our character. Expanding on Irenaeus' ideas, modern theologian John Hick elaborated on the soul-making theodicy in his book Evil and the God of Love, published in 1966. Hick argued that God intentionally allows suffering to foster moral and spiritual maturity. He described life as a vale of soul-making, where we are all in the process of becoming children of God, as noted in Romans 8:29. Hick insisted that a world without suffering would lead to moral stagnation. Without challenges, individuals would lack the opportunities to develop the key virtues that arise only in the face of hardship. For instance, compassion often emerges in response to suffering, such as during humanitarian efforts following natural disasters. These moments of struggle create opportunities for genuine care and altruism that might never materialize in a world free from pain. Moreover, Hick emphasized that true love and virtue must be chosen freely and developed over time, rather than being automatically embedded in our nature. The ability to love, to be patient, and to empathize must be cultivated through real experiences, especially those that challenge us. While the soul-making theodicy acknowledges that suffering is indeed painful, it insists that these experiences are not meaningless. Instead, they provide individuals with the chance to participate in God's redemptive work by becoming more compassionate and mature. This perspective aligns beautifully with 2 Corinthians 12:9, where the Apostle Paul embraces personal weakness and suffering as avenues to experience God's strength. Furthermore, through suffering, believers learn to trust in God's goodness and provision, deepening their relationship with Him. As theologian N.T. Wright suggests, suffering can transform into a powerful experience that draws individuals closer to God's purposes for their lives. In conclusion, the soul-making theodicy offers a meaningful framework for understanding suffering. It challenges us to view pain not merely as punishment or misfortune, but as a necessary tool for personal growth and spiritual maturity. Life's hardships, though difficult, are essential for developing virtues like empathy, patience, and perseverance. By participating in this transformative process, we reflect the image of God and grow into the fullness of our divine potential. Thank you for joining us in this exploration of soul-making and character development in the face of suffering. Stay tuned for part 3, where we will continue to unravel the complex relationship between pain, growth, and divine purpose.